He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Sugar Bush Township, Minnesota. It's way up north there in Beltrami County. A northern Minnesota man is recovering after accidentally shooting himself in the leg while attempting to unload a firearm. Is my accent getting old fast?
Am
I hitting it?
I thought it was solid.
Okay.
It had a Charlie Barron side to it.
I have a lot of relatives up there. The incident happened around 11:10 p.m. on Tuesday near Hales and Birchmont Beach Roads in Sugar Bush Township. The 42-year-old man was injured. According to the sheriff's office, the man had pulled over to the side of the road and was exiting the vehicle in order to unload the gun. Okay. But as he did so, the gun went off, accidentally striking him in the leg. I find this story incredibly suspect, Jeff.
I do as well, but I also can 100% believe it after all the dumb shits that, would draw their gun and point it at their leg to take a picture. That I can definitely see this dude gripping that gun to rack the slide and doing the squeeze both hands at the same time and lighting one off into his leg.
Here's why I find it suspect. I think he was driving down the road, fucking with his gun, and he torched a round off. And then he stopped to unload the gun he just shot himself with. That's what I think happened. That's just me. But anyway, the driver called 911 as he headed towards Cass Lake Indian Health Service and was intercepted by emergency responders on Mission Road Southeast by first responders who rendered medical care. He was then transported to a hospital in Bemidji. No details provided by police on why the man had a loaded gun in his vehicle. Well, why not? Just don't mess with it while you're in the vehicle. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we have a guest on the show this week. A guy who, I'll freely admit, 2 months ago, I had never heard of in my life. And then he won at Area 3. And then he won limited optics at Nationals 2 weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, who the fuck is Adam Grimm? Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thanks for having me on.
So, I guess let's just ask the question that's kind of become a meme in the USPSA world. Who the fuck is Adam Grimm?
I don't know. Who the fuck is Adam Grimm? Just some guy who likes to shoot. I started USPSA a couple years ago, 2 plus a couple years ago, and fell in love with it. And here I am, just being, I guess slightly autistic with my dry fire, and it's paying off.
So you've been a member. I looked you up on the USPSA website. You joined in 2023. 2 years later, you're a national champion. That doesn't happen ever. I don't think anyone picked up the sport and 2 years later they're a national champion. So how did you get so good so fast?
A lot of dry fire. That's going to be the real answer. So dry firing mornings, evenings, 2 times in the evenings, sometimes at lunch too. So, 3 to 4 times a day, doing 5 to 15 minute sessions. And then I also, have you heard of that Ace VR?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I picked that up. It's fun. I like it. I think if you use it the correct way, it can be a very beneficial training tool. I definitely think there could be some things that are bad about it if you use it the wrong way. It could be detrimental as well.
Interesting.
But I think for the most part, it's pretty good. I think the important thing with that is it makes dry fire really fun. So because you can play with friends and whatnot. So I would use that as well. And then, pair that with live fire. So I've just always been very good at kind of analyzing what I need to improve on and where I'm kind of deficient. And I would just see something I'm doing wrong and just improve on it and train it and make it better.
I spent 2 years trying to figure out why I kept shooting low and right on second shots. I'm a lefty. And it sounds dumb, but for me, it actually came down to a physiological thing. I had broke my arm as a kid, And so my arm healed, turned in. So I was gripping a pistol the way everybody else was. But then if you just throw it up, it would always be off to the right. And I didn't figure out I just needed to re-grip the pistol for like, God, I think I was in my 3rd or 4th year of USPSA before I figured that out. But it was just one of those things that I'd taken classes, I'd been working on it, and I just, So then when someone like you like starts shooting and 2 years later they're national champion, I'm like, I kind of hate him in a way, a little bit. Like this is really frustrating. So you just how did you get the ability to analyze and figure it out that well? Like, were you an athlete in high school or like?
Not really. No, so I did crew in high school, rowing, on a lake
in Idaho.
And yeah, it's a very short season up here. It is. It's about 3 months out of the year. So yeah, I did crew in high school for a little bit, and then out of high school, I started racing motorcycles a little bit. Bought 2 different street bikes, and then I was traveling just a little bit to race. So I wasn't, too unfamiliar with the competition scene. And then around the time of COVID happened, and apparently wearing a full face motorcycle helmet and being, 6 feet apart at a track, you can still die from COVID as opposed to like crashing your bike. So they shut down all the racetracks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, super lame. And, Idaho wasn't shut down at all, but was kind of looking for something else. And I ran into a guy that I knew, a guy named Seth Farwell. He passed away, unfortunately, but ran into him, and he had started a jiu-jitsu gym, and I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was. And so I just showed up, tried it, fell in love with that, started doing jiu-jitsu. And so I started competing pretty frequently in jiu-jitsu and got really good at that really quickly as well. But I think those kind of experiences of the motorcycle racing and the jiu-jitsu really helped play into, the competition shooting. So with motorcycle racing and jiu-jitsu, a lot of it is kind of looking at like your own footage, or just kind of having to figure out where you're lacking, what you need to improve on, things like that. And so that skill was something that I've kind of already honed, and then coming into the shooting world, it transferred over really well. So I think that's the biggest part of why I was able to improve so quickly, is just my ability to look and see what I need to do to get better.
So go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, so you've been doing jiu-jitsu for 3 years, so couple stripe white belt, blue belt?
No, purple belt. I stopped doing that.
No shit.
Yeah. So that's actually a funny story too. Like, the amount of time it took me to become a national champion in USPSA, it was something pretty similar in jiu-jitsu. I fell in love with that as well and started competing very regularly. And so I was submitting some black belts when I was like, before I was a blue belt. Like when I was a white belt, I think I submitted like my first black belt, and then came a blue belt, and just there was no one really in the area who could kind of keep up with me. So started doing that a bunch, and then purple belt, and then started shooting, and kind of switched over to that instead of jiu-jitsu. But
well, if you can come to the Cornhusker Classic next year, I can guarantee you can do both of them.
that sounds awesome. Can I do them at the same time is the real question.
Can we bring Matt out to NGC?
Yes. A certain GM I think would gladly have a wonderful little jiu-jitsu roll with you wherever you would like.
Who are you talking about?
Senior Grease.
Lane Grease.
Lane
Okay.
Grease.
He got, what did he get it in LO, 12th?
Yeah, I think 12th. He got 3rd.
I shot against him at Area 3 as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt locally.
Awesome. Awesome. You know who I ran into at the airport leaving Race Gun Nationals was, and I might be butchering his name, Lima Breno. He's from Florida. Okay. He shoots open. I think he placed really, really high in open. Like he did very well. But he also does jiu-jitsu as well.
I don't do jujitsu. I just wired my guitar up today and replaced a couple of pickups. I'm too old and fat to. I would hurt myself. Jeff, how ridiculous was I at your gym trying to punch?
I mean, you were fine. You are athletic enough that it's a weird movement, but you understand your body, whereas a lot of people who have never done sports in their life they can't feel their body. I don't know another way to say it.
I know what you mean. Adam, I'm feeling like you really fucked up in life. Like, you should have either played, judging from pictures, you're a pretty big guy. How big are you?
6'4".
Okay. Football, basketball, baseball. If you can, like, come into jiu-jitsu and submit a black belt as a white belt and in your third year win a out of 238 people in LO at nationals, and
I think so.
Beat all of the baddest handgun shooters in the country. Like, I don't know. I think you might have made some poor life choices years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like kind of plugged in with a lot of friends at the jiu-jitsu world, and I have a couple buddies who they travel around and they compete, and I'm like, how much money did you say was the prize at the jiu-jitsu tournament?
How much money did you win at Race Gun Nats, Adam?
I won $1,800 and then cash.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the pot.
Yeah. So that was Isaac McLaren.
Okay.
Yeah, Isaac McLaren did a money pot, basically. $25 buy-in, and then first place gets 65% of that. So $1,800 cash, and then a MPA pistol cert off the prize table.
Nice.
Yeah, which I've already sold.
So what do you because everybody's gonna wonder what this new hotness national champion is using for gear, because gear matters so much. What do you shoot for gear?
I'm shooting double alpha Lynx belt with the XI pouches, the metal ones, a carry concealment X1 Raptor holster. I don't know if you've seen those. They have it's like a double layer. You should definitely try one out. They're really nice. It's a double layer Kydex holster. So your gun just like sits in there and it like kind of flops around a little bit. It's loose, but there's a magnet at the bottom that keeps it retained. So as soon as you get a good grip and you pull it out, it just flies right out. So use one of those. And he's a local guy to me. So
okay.
That's cool as well. But
what gun are you using?
I'm using a Shadow 2. So
Okay.
I shot Race Gun Nationals Limited Optics with my Shadow 2 in carry optics configuration, hammer down.
Yes. That's what I wanted to hear. Yes.
Continuing to prove that LO doesn't need to exist.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, the argument is that carry optics doesn't need to exist. But if I had been on the board back then, I would have been like, no, we just allow single action, no magwells, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as it is, the divisions are very close. And I've heard this from a bunch of other shooters. And I've heard a couple suggestions. One of them would be to maybe make carry optics similar to production optics, or go back to, I guess, how it once was, where there were weight limits and magazine limit capacity or something like that.
Yeah, the original configuration for carry optics was right around the time I started, like 10 years ago. I think it was 2014, 14 or 15. And yeah, it was production with a dot. And the weight limits were all, you got 2 ounces plus or minus on the factory weight of the gun. And it was 2 ounces, wasn't it, Jeff?
I don't remember.
I think it was 2 ounces plus or minus. Carry optics was different, though. It was maximum 35 ounces. So that excluded, like, people were cutting the shit out of Shadow 2 slides and frames to get them into carry
to
optics.
Make them light.
Yeah,
Nice.
To lighten them up, because they were like 43 ounces or whatever they are. And so, yeah, it was, and people were cracking. And the Shadow 2 was really new back then, too. So it was cracking slides left and right. And was it
the Shadow 2 or the original Shadow?
No,
the
Shadow 2s.
Well, the original Shadow, and then the Shadow 2 came out like, I think 2016. So Carry Optics was like not really catching on, but when it was starting to catch on in like 18, 19, that was when people were cutting on the Shadow 2s to try and get them into CO.
Because they increased the mag capacity from 10 rounds to 140 millimeter. And then that's when it started taking off, and a lot of people were cutting slides. And then they just got rid of all weight limit rules.
I still think it would have taken off, just not as quickly with if it would have just stayed production with the dot, because the dots eventually got good. And, you pretty much had the Delta Point Pro back then. That was the only really good one, or a RMR. And that was pretty much it. So, all right. So you shoot a Shadow 2 in Carry Optics configuration and won Race Gun Nationals, and you beat all the fucking heavy hitters. God, I love it. So how did you actually find practical shooting?
That's a good question. My girlfriend works at a personal injury law firm, and her coworker.
Great start.
I know. Good start.
So this guy got shot. Wait a second. I heard the story
before. No. So she works at a personal injury law firm, and her coworker, who is an attorney, we all went out shooting together, and he shot USPSA, and he's like, "Oh man, like you should go shoot." And I was like, I don't want to. I got to get better. Like, the things. Like,
you were that guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that you could just show up and shoot and whatnot. And that was like my initial thought. And he's like, no, just do it and try it. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll try it. And so I went to a steel challenge first. So up here, we have winters, and we can only shoot like 4, 5, 6 months out of the year, something like that, depending on the season. So half the year, my local club switches to steel challenge. So I shot Yeah. And we kind of do like outlaw steel challenge. It's like we don't do surrender draw, and the steel's not in the same spot. Like sometimes we'll do a lot more steel than just normal steel challenge.
Sure.
Sometimes it's action steel, just different. So I shot a steel challenge match, and I think I shot like 1, maybe 2. And then it was like going into spring was when USPSA was. So I shot one of those with Zach, the guy who got me into it, and loved it. And then I was like, all right, I want to do the movement now. Like this is the steel challenge is awesome. Let's do the movement portion. And so like a month later was when it was spring, and they were going to do their first ever USPSA match. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll take you to that one too, because the rules are a little different and whatnot. And so me and another buddy, we signed up for this match along with Zach. And then the day of, or like the night before, Zach's like, oh, hey, I'm sick. I'm not going to make it. And so,
Zach is the guy who was getting you into it?
Yeah, Zach's the guy who's getting me into it.
So the guy helping you bailed. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. And so me and another guy show up, and that's where, I really fell in love with the community, because we didn't know anything. We show up and they're like, oh yeah, we'll help you out. Like, hey, here's all the rules. Let's get you, we'll fit you in a squad. We'll put you in this squad because there's a bunch of, more experienced shooters, things like that. And it just started from there. So after that, I was hooked, and I just kept at it.
I'm still frustrated by how quickly you won a nationals, really. And like, I have no chance. I just keep thinking about, Jesus Christ, 2 years and you won a fucking nationals. Like,
so you want to know
how old are you? How old are you again?
28.
Oh God, okay. You're gonna be.
So I might make it even worse. So the first year I was classified as, I think, like C class. And then I don't know if I shot any major matches. And then the winter, I had a good buddy. I'm shooting an indoor match with him, and people probably know him, Micah Swan. If you know Micah, he's like one of the coolest USPSA shooters ever. Like, he could be having a match where he's shooting like the worst match he's ever shot, and you're like, hey man, how you shooting? And he's like, fantastic. Like, just that positive attitude. Yeah. Really awesome guy to squad with. And he shreds. Like, he's very good. I think he took second behind Max Michelle at Area 1 a couple years ago. So a really good shooter. But I'm shooting an indoor match with him because, once again, winter. And he's like, hey, how come you haven't signed up for any major matches? And I'm like, major matches? What's that? And he's like, oh, you travel and you can shoot against like, some of the best of the best. He's like, you should do it. And I think I was C or B class at the time. I think I was B class. And he's like, all right, sign up for this one, and this one. So I signed up for Area 1 and Washington or Inland Empire Sectional and Idaho State. So I think Area 1 is the first one. So first one, and I drive down with him. I'm B class, and I think I get second B class at Area 1, and got a chance to squad with some like really awesome shooters. Like I think there was like 3 GMs. And so this is the first time I've ever like seen a GM before in USPSA is, my first major match. And I get a squad with a couple of them.
Was that the one that was in Billings?
No, that one was in Winnemucca.
Oh, okay.
Area 1. So it was not this year, but the year before. So shoot that one. And then Inland Empire Sectionals next. And so I get a chance to shoot that. Well, anyways, long story short, the end of that season, it was September of not this year, last year. I shoot Idaho State and I'm A class and I place 3rd overall. Steiner's first, my buddy Lucas Cornish is second, I'm third, and I beat some, bigger names like Wonsik Kim and Sam Matt. Like I had a really, really good match. Like if you could shoot a perfect match, like that was a perfect match for me almost. So shoot that, go back, I make master, and then 7 months later, I make grandmaster. And then, so that was this past like April, I think. And then 6 months, like almost on the day is nationals, and I win nationals. So the progress just from master to grandmaster to nationals has been pretty explosive for me. So just this past year, alone has been pretty good.
Yeah, I'll say.
So where do you go from here? Are you wanting to do like go to the World Shoot or anything like that?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny question that I had to ask myself after nationals because I've been training so hard for nationals, and now that it's over, it wasn't like, oh man, like I'm done. It was more like, all right, what's next? And I had to think about it, and I think Worlds definitely is what I'm looking at. I think that's the long-term goal. Plus that it's in Italy is a huge bonus.
Yeah,
I know my girlfriend's going to want to do that.
Really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Worlds.
If I was going to Worlds and like I'm not, I don't mean to shit on this, but for me to go overseas, like I'm probably going to go to a foreign country like 2 or 3 times the rest of my life. And if one of them is for a world shoot and it's in South Africa, I'm not real interested. Just if I'm going to blow that much dough on a trip somewhere overseas, like that's not a place I want to go. Italy, that's a place I'd go. Like, hell yeah. I'd love to see Italy for sure. So, okay. So you mentioned you dry fire a lot. What does your training actually look like? You kind of mentioned a little bit. You don't have these like marathon hour or 2 hour dry fire sessions. No. They're like, what'd you say? 5 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, like 5 to 15 minutes. I'm just doing a lot more of them throughout the day than normal.
So what do you do during those sessions? Like specifically? I
don't have a really strict thing that I do. I'll shoot a match. Well, I guess when I was first, now it's a little different, but like if we go back a year ago when I'm, going from C class all the way to M and then even GM, I'm shooting a local match and I'm watching my footage afterwards. I'm seeing where I'm losing time, things like that, or maybe it's my hits. And that's what I work on in the dry fire session for like the whole next week until the next match. And then the next match, look at, where I'm lacking there, and then move on and dry fire the next week doing that. And so it's kind of like a repeating cycle of that. Nothing super strict where it's like, all right, practice 5 draws presentations or whatever, and then do 5 transitions or whatever. No, it's nothing like that. It's more of just doing whatever. I will say probably the one thing that I am very consistent on is I will always start my dry fire with a unloaded start because I have to load the gun. So might as well start with an unloaded start.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I always end it with weak hand and strong hand. Just like a little bit of those.
So how did those stages go for you at nationals?
Weekend was okay. The strong hand, I think I had a stage win, and it was like a very high stage win. Like, I think it was like if you look at the combined thing, I think it was like in the 90s or something. I could be wrong. I could be full of shit, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Do you remember what stage number it was?
4 and 5.
Okay. I will tell
But
you.
I got to switch back to that match because I was looking for you at Area 1. This is the part that everybody loves in our podcast when we start Googling stuff or we're looking
no
up
one's
something
talking,
in Practice
and they're
Score.
like,
It's
hurry
such
up
great
and say
pod.
something.
It really is. But I'm really good at vamping and covering that space because I don't know if you knew this, Adam. I did radio for 23 years. So that's how we sort of ended up with this podcast because Jeff was like, oh, you do radio? We should do a podcast. I'll talk shit and you can make it. And that's pretty much what happened. So did you find what you were looking for?
No, I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I like where you're going with this.
I feel like Andy was the one that asked me, and that I went. I love talking.
You were drunk the first time it came up. You were pretty
probably
hammered.
false. I don't know. Both can be true.
This was at the bar we always go to in Sioux Falls at Great Plains, the Barrel House.
Oh, Barrel House. Yeah,
You were kind of hammered, and I barely knew you. And you're like, you do radio? We should like do a podcast, and I'll talk shit.
That doesn't that doesn't sound as aggressive as I. That sounds like me now, but not me like 4 years ago or 3 years ago when we met. But I don't know.
I don't remember you not being aggressive, Jeff.
That's fair. I
really don't.
Either people feel me as aggressive or they see me as a teddy bear, and I'm confused by it. Have you found the information that you were looking for, or would you like to move to a different question? Because I haven't.
I have found the information I was looking for, and I was full of shit about the overall. So the overall was 73%, but if you look, it says PCC for the first 40 shooters.
That was the weekend, though.
Yeah,
you did have a stage win on the strong hand, or on the strong hand. You did.
Yeah, not on the combined though. I'm looking at combined.
Oh,
so yeah.
Okay. Oh, 30, yeah, I was looking at LO.
Yeah, there's 31 shooters, and then there's Gianni in limited major, and he shot 75%. And then I shot 72.83% with all alphas combined. So yeah, the next person was, I think, Merriam in limited optics, and he was 72%. So yeah, I shot that one all right.
How dare you shoot all alphas in 6.37 seconds with your practice every time you dry fire doing strong hand weekend? That's not a thing people do. Yeah. No, I thought those stages were pretty cool. What did you think of the Shaky Bridge stage that everybody who's really good seemed to piss and moan about?
I didn't mind it.
I didn't either. I thought it was fun.
It was different. I didn't read the stage brief, and so like my first thought was, oh hey, what if you just sit on your butt and like, you know, you sit on your butt and you shoot the two targets and then you lay back for the other ones. It didn't work out because you couldn't see the top target, but it would have been freaking sweet if you could.
There was one guy in my squad who started kneeling because the start position was just feet on rear fault line. Mm-hmm. So he would shoot the two side targets in the back and then lunge forward, and there was just a little bit of a gap where laying prone you could shoot the two back side targets, and then he shot the two stack in the back. I just gave myself a rug burn and just belly flopped on the fucking platform, and it was that was actually one of my better stages in the match.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too hard. I mean, if you are somewhat okay at balancing, it didn't seem like it was too big of a deal. And they gave, you know, the option for people with bad legs or whatever to take a penalty and take it from the two boxes.
Yeah. Oh, were those boxes available for the back target?
Yep. Yeah, you can see all the targets from those two boxes. So I think it was like a 20% penalty or a 20-point penalty. I forget exactly the numbers, but you could do that if you weren't able to balance or if you had like a bad leg or whatever.
I was literally sitting here talking to you, the reigning LO national champion, and I'd never actually seen you shoot on video. So I was going to your Instagram to see if I could find a video, and sure enough, the first stage I see is one that has strong hand only at the end of the stage. It's like the second video that's on there. But then at the end of it, this match was from back in April.
That was when I made Grandmaster.
That's what I was about to point out.
Yeah.
You just made Grandmaster in April and then won a national title fucking 6 months later. That's ridiculous. Oh, my God.
It's like, it was like 6 months on the day almost, I think, as well.
Yeah, pretty close.
Like, it was very, very close.
So
as far as match footage, though, I usually post more on my YouTube. YouTube Shorts, I'll post it there. I feel like Instagram is, you don't really get traction on there versus like YouTube. You know, you'll average like 2,000 views.
Have you found a success with YouTube Shorts? Because I found success and then lost it and then haven't found the motivation to try to get it back.
Yeah, I found success and then lost it just like you. But I am averaging a lot more views than I am on Instagram. I think I get like 1,500 to 2,000 views per short. But I have gotten like up to like 80,000 views on a short before.
Yeah, it's so fucking random.
it's very fickle.
It's very random.
So one thing about your practice, we went over your dry fire. What does a live fire session look like for you?
Yeah, live fire I was doing every Friday and then like a match on a weekend. And then this year, going into nationals, I kind of changed it a little bit. I would do Wednesdays and Fridays, and it's not much. Like I'm doing 150 to 200 rounds, but I'll do Wednesdays, Fridays, and then maybe a match on Saturday, or maybe like another training session on Saturday or Sunday with some friends. But definitely was a lot more intensive this year than the year before. More expensive too.
fucking Craig Tappy's all over the place. It's bullshit.
Yeah. No, he's sort of like the back end of, like, he hasn't won a nationals, but he plays a lot of golf, you know, and then it's like, oh, Race Gun Nationals is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'll do some live fire practice and do some dry fire.
I'll fire 300 rounds to make sure my gun works and show up.
And he'll show up and he'll be hanging with the fucking tall dogs. It's kind of annoying, but so shit, I had a question on the tip of my tongue and then that distracted me and I forgot what the question was.
Oh no.
I'll think of it again later.
Here's my question.
Okay.
So you're not victim weight. You're 6'4", what, 230?
No, not quite that heavy. Like 215 to 220.
Okay, 215, 220. You are competing against small, fast boys. Lots of many small, fast people. Do you find your size like having to change anything because of your size? Because I'm a little bit larger than you, and sometimes my size requires me to change plans. Do you ever have that come up, or do you ever think about that?
No, if anything, I'll have friends like make fun of me. They're like, I'll be like, okay, it's easy. You know, you just shoot this and you take a step this way. And they're like, a step? Dude, that's like 4 steps for me, you know? Like things like that.
Yeah.
So no, I don't really think I don't have to change much. I think low ports might be the only disadvantage. Or just like ports in general, because I do have to like kind of crouch a little bit more than other people.
Yeah,
but
the miniature ports, they're bullshit.
So for full disclosure, Adam, Jeff's more than a little bit bigger than you. He's 6'9" and like 3 bills. So
damn,
he's really big. So low, I haven't had a low port at Great Plains in a few years. It's time for a low port at Great Plains so Jeff can piss and moan about it.
Guess what?
I think you should do every stage with a low port. That's what I would do.
At Cornhusker, I'm going to get staple no shoes up until there's only a 6 foot like vision slit to shoot through.
Okay, as long as there's a step ladder, I'm good with that.
Jeff, really quick. So on the Wobble Bridge stage at Nationals, did you shoot over the barrels?
So I did not shoot Nationals this year, but if shooting over the barrels would have been advantageous, I would have 100%.
He would have been able to.
I've done it before.
No, I remember. I forgot all about that. I should have brought that up last week when we were talking about Nationals. They did say you could shoot over the barrels in the stage brief. And you would have fucking destroyed that stage because you could have absolutely shot over those barrels, Jeff.
But then I would have struggled to fit onto the thing. It
was high enough off the ground. Your feet wouldn't have been on it was pretty good sized.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you would have been fine.
My whole body was on it. So, like, my feet were dangling off, I think, a little bit. But, no, it was a pretty good sized platform.
One quick practice question, because the nerds want to know. So like when you say you fire 150, 200 rounds, are you doing like a Ben Steger style drill? Are you doing stage style stuff? Are you doing fundamentals? Like what drills are you doing with that 200 rounds?
Stage stuff. I have access to like all my local clubs props, so I can set up walls and whatnot. So me and my training partner Don will go out. A couple other people might join us, but it's been pretty consistent. Don, another guy, Frank, but we'll go out, set up, a stage or just like a mini, like something small. Maybe it's like a shooting box with like a target and a wall, and practice like entries, exits, something like that. And it just really depends what we want to work on. So sometimes it's shooting on the move. Sometimes it's entries, exits. Sometimes it is fundamentals, but it's very similar to like my dry fire, where I kind of look at like the match, what do I need to improve on, and that's what I'm working on.
And are Don and Frank like now you're the national champion? Where are they? A class, M class, B class? Where are they?
They're both. So Don's M class open. Frank is M class in carry optics. I think he's an A class in open. He's sandbagging a little bit.
I hate those sandbaggers.
Yeah.
Those sandbagging M's that win Area 3. Like what? Like those assholes.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, that fucking M that ruined the bell curve for everybody in Area 3 and cost everybody a classifier. Thanks,
in my defense, all right. There should be something in place for USPSA to fix that. Because,
dude, honestly, there should be, because if you're a GM in one division that's basically the same as the other, and you win an area match, like they should just automatically bump you to GM.
Yeah. Well,
it's
I shot a handful of other major matches this year too, like a couple state matches, some sectionals, things like that. And I've kind of fucked over all the other major matches. The biggest, the biggest one was Utah State. So I signed up in limited optics as a GM. And so there were 3 GMs in limited optics. And then there was like 5 or something GMs in carry optics. And last second, I switched from limited optics to carry optics. So I fucked over everybody in limited optics. None of their classifiers counted because I took the GM away.
Hell yeah.
And in carry optics, the closest GM to me was 10% behind me. So I fucked over everybody in carry optics too.
So
well, that was pretty much Area 3, I think, because there was one other GM. There was one GM that had like 91%. Well, no, he was an M2.
Weichel's GM.
Weishel was a GM.
At the time, no, he wasn't.
He was like 90. I thought he was. He was like 95%.
I guess
he was. He absolutely was, because going into that match, I looked at all the names. I didn't know anybody, and the only name I recognized was Weichel because Jay Slater, or Jay of Mars, the guy who does the ELO ratings.
Yeah.
He had posted something on his story calling me and Nathan Barnes.
He was. My bad.
He said now that Weichel is a GM, me and Nathan Barnes are the most egregious M-class CO sandbaggers.
Hell yeah. So did your buddy who
by the way, I just want to say, Case Ryan, you let everybody down by being 0.22% away from 90% of Adam Grimm. I'm just throwing it out there, Case. It's not Adam's fault. It's actually your fault,
It's
Case.
actually his fault. Yeah. Blame him.
He could have shot just a little bit better, and then everybody's score in CO would have counted for a classifier.
So has your buddy that made the "Who the fuck is Adam Grimm" shirts? Has he just?
I met him.
Have they been selling out because everyone is asking, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. So after Area 3, I get that text and they're like, hey, check out this podcast. So I listen to that and I hear you guys say that, the who the fuck is Adam Grimm? And my girlfriend's in the car because we're driving back and she thought it was hilarious. And so Ryan, I guess Ryan and his wife were talking with my girlfriend Becca, and they're like, oh, hey, like these shirts, like we should make these shirts or something. And so I flew down a couple days early to nationals, and my girlfriend, the day before she flew out, she had her friend make a bunch of these shirts. And so we get down there and she handed them out to everybody. So she gave some to like Ryan and everybody.
That's awesome.
So
I
there
love
weren't
that.
there weren't any like made as like a production thing. I kind of want to because I think it'd be hilarious.
You should.
I feel like you need to sell them on Adam Grimm Precision or what?
Grimtech
Yeah.
_ precision or whatever.
Yeah, it's just grimtech.com. I do have a website. But yeah, I think I will. Maybe a nice, comfortable one.
I have a really quick story. Your girlfriend followed me on Instagram after Nationals.
Okay.
But I don't mean this insulting, but this is exactly what went through my head. Because every now and then I'll get a picture of a woman in a bikini who follows me. And I'm
Russian
like,
spam bot.
Right. I'm like, oh, who's the Russian spam bot? And then I tapped on the notification, just figuring I need to go just block this bot. And then it says followed by Grimtech Precision. I'm like, what? And so then
He fell for the thirst trap.
So I'm like, this is either the greatest bot in history, or this is somebody who knows Adam. And then there were obviously photos of you on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is his wife or his girlfriend or something. Okay, now that makes sense. But I totally thought she was just like, some Russian bot, photo thing that happened.
Yep.
So, quick question, because I did no preparation or anything. What's Grimtech Precision?
It's my website. I started a LLC a number of years ago. I'm a machinist by trade, and I had an idea and I made a part and just decided to throw it on a website and sell it. And then ended up getting my FFL and my LLC as well. And this was before I was even in USPSA. And so I just did that just as like, hey, it might take off, might sell any. Didn't really do any marketing on it. It was just more so like, to say I did it. And then USPSA happened, and I also found out that I can get stuff wholesale. So I just started throwing some stuff on there and just kind of reselling things. And then the best thing about it is my hobby has been tax-free. So I would say if anybody is in shooting, get an LLC, your shit's going to be tax-free. Obviously you have to make a profit, but find some product, sell it, and your major matches are marketing, things like that. So that's kind of how it started out. Where it's going is I would love for that to take off full time. I'd love to start teaching classes, and I was about to teaching classes. But
that's on your website. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep. So I do teach classes. I'd love to do that full time if possible, and then be able to sell all that stuff, and then take the funds from that and start my own machine shop. I got a handful of like really cool ideas that I would like to do. And then I don't know if you know much about like the manufacturing side of firearm parts. The quality is pretty shit. Like firearms don't require tight tolerance work in order for them to function.
Right.
And so like me being a machinist by trade, most of the stuff that we were dealing with was like very, very tight tolerance stuff, like mold injection parts. So some aerospace, diesel performance, like things like that. So I feel like, with my experience and whatnot, I'd be able to make some pretty bitchin' gun parts that are very, very nice. So that's where I'd like to go with that. Just going to take some time.
What was the gun part you came up with that you started the website with?
Just a little like extension for your light. If you're shooting a rifle at night and you have a suppressor on it, you'll get gunpowder residue coating your light, so it dims the light, or you get suppressor shadow. A combination of both. So I just made something that pushes it out so it's even with the suppressor. TRX Arms has something really similar, and so does Cloud Defense, or not Cloud Defense, someone else. But the one I have is nicer. So a little bit more adjustable. Just M-Lock to a Surefire, Streamlight, ProTac, Scout Mount, whatever. It just fits a handful of like the common light patterns. So
I see you have you actually have a class coming up in Salt Lake later this month. that you're doing?
Yeah, that one. So actually, that one I have the date wrong. It should be December. I literally just put that on there the other day. Yeah, I've had a handful of. I got a couple buddies down there, and they want me to come down and teach class. So that one's going to be actually in December. It's just the month is wrong. I think.
I know a range in South Dakota that could host a class whenever you wanted to.
Let me know. Let me know when.
I'm the board member of my club, and we can do it whenever the hell you want, whenever you can
I'd
do
love
it.
to do it.
Nepotism at its finest.
What are you talking about?
You do need to start calling your classes from couch to LO national champion
Yes.
in 2 years.
Yeah. Couch to champ. You got to shorten that up a little bit. You got to
Couch
tighten
to
it up. Yeah. Couch to champ in 2 years. So what would you, I see, because you've got like just sort of as a, like you're advertising that you do an intermediate practical pistol 2-day class and then the advanced one. What would be the difference between those two?
A lot of the round counts are different. So a lot more fundamentals heavy on the intermediate class. Intermediate class would probably be geared a lot more towards your C to high B class shooters or low A class shooters. And then the advanced one is for like super high A's all the way to like low GMs. The difference really is the pace. So having taught both M class shooters and B class shooters, the biggest difference is the pace. You know, concepts where I have to take a lot longer to explain to a B class shooter, I could just correct really quickly on like on a higher class shooter. Like, hey, you're doing this different, you're doing this wrong, tweak this, and then just hammer it into them and they get it really quick.
No, I absolutely will have you out to our club sometime next year when there's not snow on the ground and it's not 20 below. That would be fun. I would enjoy that.
A Tuesday in July. So one question I have that I kind of dealt with today at a match. How did you deal with the mental pressure? Because I mean this in no offensive way, but your telling of your history of sports did not kind of like enlighten me to your ability to deal with the pressures of being like, oh, I'm doing quite well.
The only thing
at
it
this.
told me was you don't get wound up too tight.
No, I don't get wound up too tight at all. Yeah, I mean, like motorcycle riding. You guys know what target fixation is?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that term? Yeah. So like motorcycle riding,
It kills pilots.
Yeah, exactly. It kills motorcyclists, could kill car drivers, everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, racing, you got to have some mental pressure. Like, hey, you have to force yourself to look where you want to go. So there's some pressure there. And then jiu-jitsu, there's even more pressure. I mean, you got like a sweaty 50-pound heavier guy with a sweaty gi essentially waterboarding you. And you can,
and very thick pajamas.
Exactly. Yeah. Involuntary cuddling, like whatever you want to call it. Actually, what's the better term? Involuntary yoga with pajamas. Yeah.
And sometimes involuntary chiropractic.
Yeah. So you can succumb to the pressure and give up and tap, or you could, find a way out of it. And so as far as like mental pressure goes, it doesn't really shake me much going into a match. I mean, obviously I still get that first stage jitters a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to, but you can't really do anything about it. I don't think there's anybody in the world who can completely negate that. The only thing you can do is kind of control it or not succumb to it. And so I started out, I don't know if you're following the scores, the 2 mics that I had that match were my very first stage at Nationals. Ooh. 2 mics. So,
rough start.
Yeah, a little bit of rough start. So, I mean, I didn't give into the pressure there. I just continued shooting and just continued shooting a little bit better and better throughout the day. And the mics wasn't because of the pressure. That was just the first day. I just didn't shoot my best. It was just a little bit of my vision focus was lacking a little bit. So
that's the thing I struggle with the most. And actually at Nationals, it took me till my 3rd stage where I was like, oh yeah, dummy, remember you're supposed to shoot it with your eyes before you shoot it with the gun? Fucking do that. And then all of a sudden I shot a really good stage. And it's that discipline to do it correctly every time that I struggled with a lot this year was I know what to do, but I just don't always do it. It's so fucking maddening.
I mean, shooting is really, really simple. It's not easy though.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's simple, but not easy. Okay. Yep. Now, were you following the scores throughout the match? Like you knew where you were sitting going into day 3?
Going into day, yeah.
Because I knew you were in line to win going into day 3.
Yeah. So day 1, I was kind of looking at the scores, and at the end of day 1, I was like 5% or like 5-something% behind Casey. I was like down like 200 something match points, and so day 2, I decided, screw it. I'm not going to look at the scores. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to have fun. So day 2, just kind of left my phone in the bag and just shot and had a good time. And then checked it. End of day 2, shot a lot better. And then
so you're not a check the scores guy anymore, is what I'm hearing.
Sometimes I am. Like I do enjoy it. Like I think sometimes it's good to do that, especially if maybe you're not sure if like an RO scored something right. Like I'm very bad at checking the tablet afterwards. I just hit approve and walk away.
Yeah, me too.
Like they're like, hey, hit approve. I'm like, all right, perfect, done, cool. That was a fun stage. I should probably check my time and like the hits and make sure that there's not a no shoot in there or something.
Like when you're 8 seconds long on your stage time, Jeff. Thank you for that, by the way.
That we'll talk about in our Patreon episode.
Yeah.
Were you on the Super Squad?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I was signed up open registration, and so practice score crashed on me. I was like,
you didn't even have a slot. That's awesome.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I think I was like 150th down or whatever on the wait list, and finally I got in.
You were waitlisted?
Yeah, I was waitlisted.
The national champion was fucking waitlisted. I love it.
It's almost like we fill our nationals with C and D class shooters, and we don't make sure that the GMs and M's get in there to see who's the best national champion.
It's almost like my idea for a invite only national championship should probably be a thing.
Well, would he have been invited?
Well, not this year, no. But
yeah, that's true. Actually,
Actually, no, you probably would have been with a second place in your own area match, a first place in another area match. Like that probably would have got you qualified, Yeah,
I think if you structured it the right way, that'd be awesome.
However, and that's the part I have no idea how to do. But I definitely think there should be some sort of invite only, like the fucking badass motherfuckers get invited and go and slug it out over 15, 16 stages, something like that. You could keep the cost low by not having a shitload of staff because you only have 15, 16 guys. So you have basically 2 squads worth of shooters, and then maybe another 2 or 3 squads of shooters in the other divisions that actually have enough people or had enough activity over the year, basically LO, CO, Open, and PCC to actually justify having a nationals because of the participation. I really think that should happen because I really think we should absolutely have the absolute best of the best fighting against each other every year. And it's not that we didn't have it at LO Nats, but you almost didn't get into the fucking match.
Yeah.
And you won it. So I think that is a thing worth having. I forgot what we were talking about before I got off on the tangent.
Well, no, I had derailed us because he had ended day 2 going into day 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So end of day 2, I'm looking at the scores, and me, Miriam, and Casey are all within 1% of each other. So day 3, or I guess end of day 2, I clawed back that 5%. And so going into day 3, I basically just told myself, it's like, okay, well, if I just shoot how I did day 2, just shoot how I normally shoot, and I will put 5% on everybody. So I don't even need to check scores. So I kind of just did that and just started shooting and shot well, and didn't check scores. I did have a pretty good idea because there was one stage where 3 of my squad mates, the ROs accidentally put in the wrong time and they added 3 seconds to Yeah, like a shot picked up afterwards or something. And fortunately, they all had it videoed. Like they all had a video of it, and so they were able to get their
the shooters.
the squad mates, the shooters.
Oh, okay.
So they were able to get that fixed. But so I refreshed the scores and scrolled down to the stage before like looking at the overall. But I saw my name jump up to the first position, and so this was like after maybe the second or third stage of the day. So I had a pretty good idea.
This is day 3 you're talking about?
Yeah, okay. Day 3. So I had a pretty good idea that I was shooting well, and I was in first place or on track to be first. And then like as the day goes on, like some people I don't know, like some media guys come up and they're like, "Hey, when are you shooting? Have you shot yet?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Okay, well, when do you shoot? We want to film you." I'm like, "Okay." And then I had another buddy, he comes up and he's like, "Yo, dude, you're on track to win." I'm like, "Oh, don't tell me, I haven't looked at scores," And he's like, "Oh, okay."
It's like you're throwing a no-hitter and no one's supposed to tell you're throwing a no-hitter. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Your buddies should know this.
You should jujitsu him.
Yeah, just with my gear on and everything in the dust.
Yes, that's the best time for an aggressive hug.
I think so. Yeah.
So
at nationals,
were you done shooting when? Okay, so did you know where you were sitting going into your last stage?
Yeah, so like going into my last stage, I had a pretty good idea that I was going to win because there was like Shooting Sports USA and then Action Streaming Live, and like they're setting up cameras on the stage, and I'm like, okay, why the fuck are they doing this? And plus like, on top of like, everybody else, the whispering like, "Oh dude, he's going to win," things like that. So like I knew that I was in a pretty good spot. So I kind of guessed I was probably like, at least 1% or 2% above everybody else. And so last stage of the day, like they're filming, and that like ends up being my worst stage of that, day. And so I can only imagine they're like, "This is the LO champion," like it was the one with the C and the D zone that was visible from back far, so you can save time by shooting it. Yeah. So I shoot that, and then like I'm done with this. I like shoot that. I start on the right back corner and I shoot stuff there, and then I exit on the popper because I messed up the order that I wanted to shoot stuff. Missed the popper, like had to like not exit on it, or what am I trying to say? Like I started exiting on it and had to come back and regroup the gun and shoot it, and then go over, shoot that target, the C and D target, and then I go and I shoot everything in that like port on the left, and then I like have a whole second where I wait and I make up a mic, and then at the end the guy like comes over with the camera and he's like, "So you shot that C and D target 5 times. And I'm like, "Oh my God."
You're like, first of all, lower your voice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, were there mics on there too? Shut. Sheesh.
Oh my God, that's such a great story though. Like the fact that you're the guy who sort of came out of nowhere and won nationals and kind of shit the bed on your last stage of the day.
The only match footage that they got of me,
and the only thing Shooting USA and everybody else got is the one where you kind of shit the bed, and you still fucking won.
Yeah,
is just the best. I love it. That's so fun.
Everybody was like refreshing practice score, and
I was.
I guess the Shooting USA guy, he had done the math beforehand, and so he's like goes over to the tablet because practice score's down. He's like, "Hey, what's his hit factor?" And he's like, "Oh, it's 7 something something." He's like, "Oh, he got it. He won." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet."
So that was how you. That was the moment you knew you won.
Yeah, that was the moment it was kind of confirmed. I kind of knew, just shooting it, because going into that stage, I'm like, hey, if I just shoot this, just like okay, I'll
it was
win.
Gonna be good.
That was kind of I think that's like kind of mentally, I just kind of knew that, and so I shot it okay-ish. So, but yeah, that was the moment I knew, is when it was confirmed was when he was like, okay, yeah, he got it.
So what was that feeling like?
I don't know. It was kind of, it wasn't, I wouldn't even say like relief or surreal or anything like that. It was more so just like, all right, like this was my goal. I did it. what's next? You know, it wasn't like for me, I was like super happy, obviously, but it wasn't like I was super like celebratory or something. It was more kind of just like a calm, like mellow type of thing. It's maybe I'm a freaking weirdo or something, but that's just kind of how it felt.
I know I wouldn't have reacted that way. I would have been like, duh! Like, you know, like touchdown celebration sort of thing is kind of not some stupid dance or anything, just like, you know, just like, yes! Like a fist pump or something like that, you know, like when I beat Jeff and Steven at Iowa section in 2023, something like that, maybe. I'm still living the glory days of that one. I'm so glad you were willing to do this. I'm so glad we were the first one to get you on a podcast or anything, because I literally had never before Area 3, I'd never heard your name before. Ever. And no shade, no nothing, it's just the truth. Like, I had never heard your name. And then it was sometime on Sunday morning, Bruce and I, my co-match director for Area 3, I don't know if you know Bruce Schmidt, if you'd met him or not, but
I don't think so, no.
But he goes, so Adam Grimm's probably going to win CO. And that was the first time I said, who the fuck is Adam Grimm? Yeah, and he's like, he's this guy from Idaho. He's shooting majors this year, but he hasn't really shot majors before, and he's really good. And I open up practice score. I'm like, damn, yeah, holy shit. And then you won CO, and then Case Ryan blew everybody's classifier by not shooting 0.22% better.
Yeah, god damn it,
match.
Case Ryan. Come on.
Case.
Come on, you let everybody down.
So, I have an Area 3 question, because I had heard your name, I guess, before Andy, because me and Bruce drank a lot before Area 3. So, what is your like pre-match ritual? Are you in bed by 9 p.m. type, or?
Nope. Okay, so
oh, my people, let's go. We're shooting majors together.
Yeah.
If you saw my story at Nationals, I posted a picture, and it was kind of like a humor thing, and it's like slightly true. I posted a picture. It's like guide to major matches, step 1, and it's just a picture of In-N-Out, because I had In-N-Out burger.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty much it, so like I'm not too crazy about it. I do like to get a good night's rest, but a lot of times like I'm there hanging out with the boys. We get an Airbnb together, we do that. So I think Area 3, we shot day 1, and then we went back to the Airbnb, and we cooked a ton of steaks. We did steaks, eggs, zucchini, some onions, and just ate really good, and just had like some fantastic steaks. And we hang out, and then hang out a bit, go to bed, dry fire maybe or whatever, and then wake up next day and shoot. So it's not like I have a super crazy big ritual. I do like a good night's rest, but I'm not. So
you're saying you don't go drink vodka till 3 a.m?
No, I don't do that.
Never mind, we can't be friends.
Okay.
Damn it. No.
Actually, the best match I ever shot, I was very hungover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you much of a drinker, or you're my body's my temple type?
No, I'm not much of a drinker. So.
Boo.
I wouldn't say my body's a temple, because I don't eat the most healthiest. I try to, but I should eat healthier, but I don't know. Jeff was
really hoping you were hungover on day 3 of Nationals. That's what he was really wanting to hear.
I was looking for minor validation, but I find my validation internally, because I beat multiple GMs while drinking for 4 days straight.
Your best match, you were hungover, weren't you?
I mean,
yes. You're hungover at every match.
I'm not sure which match you're talking about.
We were almost late Adam. We were almost late for Free State, because Jeff just was not in a hurry, and was you weren't even really hungover. You just weren't in a hurry.
No, that was one of the matches I wasn't drunk for.
Yeah.
Because we didn't stay out late.
No, because I'm the old guy who like wants to go to bed at 9. I want to drink, but I don't want to go out till 2 a.m.
Right. Whenever I hang out with Brent and Bruce, like shit gets weird. That's all. All right. So
I bet there is actually some. I bet you probably could shoot better, if you're slightly buzzed, just from the mental aspect. You're just kind of loose and you don't really care.
It gets you
I play
calmer.
better golf with a couple beers in me. That's for sure.
There's a conversation around a certain invitational that's not your invitational, but my invitational with a Willie Nelson division and a Jack and Jim division. On that note, what is the dumbest take you have that you think USPSA should do? Like, what's your I'm not talking about a rational, logical thing. I'm talking about the dumbest thing. You're like, I don't give a shit that no one would like this. I want this done. What would you change about USPSA that no one else would like?
That no one else would like? Oh shit!
Well, I think someone would like.
Not many people would
some
like.
Some people. Okay. You have to come back to me on that. Someone else answer. I'm going to think about it. That's a good one.
Or just, what would you change that people maybe would like? Because to say that it's something that they wouldn't like is kind of hard. I mean,
something I would change that people would like is probably actually, people probably wouldn't like this. Something I would change would be, in order to be classified as a GM, you have to have some major matches and you have to place well in those. Like, some major matches have to count.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I think they're doing a good job with the 2025 classifier series.
Yeah,
but I think because they include movement, but I think the stand-and shoots isn't really indicative of major match performance.
No, like, to be a GM, you have to shoot 90 or 95% at a level 2 or above.
Yeah,
so never going to have a GM
you're shooting against.
No, but I mean make GM more. I mean that.
We're talking to the guy that no one shot close to 95% at Area 3,
I know.
including multiple Super Squad GMs.
I know. That's why everybody wants to bitch about the classification system and then
Adam Grimm shows up.
And then Adam Grimm shows up and fucks it all up. But
yeah, I think if they switch to like ELO, something like ELO,
I do like the ELO system.
That would. Yeah, I think that would be a little bit more accurate.
Because don't they use that in the motorcycle racing? Is that where it comes from, or did I?
I think it's just a statistical thing. It's
a statistic thing, but I think it's most commonly used in chess.
Oh, interesting.
Well, the autism meter has just gone to 14.
I could be completely wrong with that.
It probably.
But when I think of ELO, like when I've heard of ELO, I've thought of chess. So.
I've never thought of chess, except for when my daughter was little and she would like, Dad, let's play chess. And I'm like, I don't know how to play chess. It's okay, I'll show you.
So you have an FFL. You said you have an FFL.
Yes.
Are you the level of FFL that can get like fun toys?
No. So the way that works is there's FFL, which there's a couple different classes. And so I have my class 7 FFL, which is a manufacturer's license. So I can manufacture lowers or firearms. And then there's like a class 3, which is like dealers, like most wholesale people or something. I think it's class 3.
Yeah.
But they can just buy and transfer and sell firearms. And then on top of your FFL, there's something called an SOT, which is a special operational tax. So that's where you can actually... if you have a class 7 FFL with your SOT, you can make machine guns and suppressors and short barreled rifles. I don't have that. That's $500 a year. I will definitely get one eventually.
Yeah, I was about to say. Following.
Why don't you have that?
Right.
Just money. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
I definitely want one. They're sweet.
Can you hire me as an employee and I'll pay $500?
Yes.
Anyways, no. Following that is, what's the dumbest gun you want? Like the most illogical, stupid gun that you
I love
want
this
in your
question.
possession?
Ooh, the dumbest gun I want, like the most illogical dumbest one.
Yes.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have. You don't have to have a good reason for it.
Honestly, I don't own any high points. I kind of want one.
Solid choice.
Dude,
Where'd you get the $100 bill?
Yeah,
What'd you get?
I was about
exactly.
I was about halfway to buying a high point. I was on my way back with some work guys from a training, and we stopped at this little gun shop in the middle of nowhere because one of the guys I was traveling back with found this lever action Marlin 4570 he has wanted forever. He's a gun guy, but he just has like hunting rifles and that's it. And this was like one lever gun he really, really wanted. So we're hanging out while he's waiting for his transfer paperwork bullshit to happen. And I'm walking around looking in the pistol case and I see, oh, there's a high point. Oh, there's a 10 millimeter. Oh, it's $175. And I'm actually thinking about it because I bought a 10 millimeter Glock last year. So I'm equipped for this. And I'm still looking at it, though, looking at the case. And then on the other side, I see a Century Arms 1911 in 45 that was for $399. I'm like, ooh, I've been wanting to buy a cheap 1911, cheap-ass 1911. But, no, I want to hold out for a T-Sauce because Tom Nelson said the T-Sauce is the jam. So then I look down at the bottom shelf. Boom, T-Sauce. M19A1 and 1911A1 black government model $359 sold. Put the credit card down, bought it that day. So I bought one of the dumb guns I want. It's so hard not to. But the Jeff, what's your dumb gun?
Oh, it's between a P90 and a Desert Eagle.
I have a friend with a Desert Eagle.
If I got the Desert Eagle, it'd have to be in 50 caliber, and I would need an appendix holster for it.
Oh my gosh,
dude,
he could appendix carry a Desert Eagle. That's the dumb thing.
I can appendix carry a Shadow 2. I've done it before. I have the holster. So I feel
I'm
like
guessing you probably would want the P90 because you watch Stargate.
Yes. I preferably full auto, short barreled. I would like two of them because reasons.
Our listeners missed out on the nerddom that happened right before we started recording. It was fucking awful.
We were talking about Stargate Atlantis because there was some audio issues that sounded like an episode of Stargate Atlantis, and I found one of my people, and then Andy comes in, fucking nerds. So, what would... So, we have the Invitational. We have the top 16 LO shooters in the country. What do you want your walkout song to be?
Oh, man, I'm rickrolling everybody. You know it.
Oh, nice. That's a great choice.
That's a solid.
That is a great choice.
I feel like you need to go with Don't Fear the Reaper.
That's actually a good one. That'd be good.
I made that joke to Andy, and
I didn't get it. I don't think you're getting it yet either, Adam.
No, I get it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grim Reaper?
Yeah, Grim Reaper.
Okay.
And then he showed up out of the hills of Idaho, just taking souls across the Midwest and now nationally.
No, I texted Jeff and said, hey, I booked Adam Grimm for the show next week. And he's like, yes. And then he texts back like something about the Reaper.
The Reaper, yeah.
And I'm like, huh? And he's like, Adam Grimm, Grim Reaper. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I should have thought of that before you did. God damn it.
The dad joke was sitting right there.
Yes, I absolutely should have thought of that before Jeff. But, okay. Whenever we have a guest on, we like to do something fun. And we're going to do something fun. We have a round of Name That Gun. I have questions about guns from TV shows and movies. And Adam, it's not a race to answer the question. You just both throw out your guess, and we see who gets the most. You know. All right. So here's the first question. In the 1996 action classic, The Rock, Nicolas Cage is trying to disarm. Whoa.
Sorry, that's my dog.
Not a Nick Cage fan. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, no Nick Cage fan.
Nicolas Cage is trying to disarm the poisonous rockets when he is attacked by machine gun fire. What type of machine gun was it?
Machine gun?
It's from the 90s, so I'm going MP5.
I'm going M60.
Adam got it. It was an M60E3.
Oh.
Yes. All right.
I actually haven't seen that movie. I'm just guessing,
That was actually 90s, like if it was a machine gun, like machine gun.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that would have been a good guess. Was the Saw, Jeff, you're a dork, was the Saw around in 96?
Yes.
Okay. In the 2008 classic Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.'s character Kirk Lazarus carries a shotgun in combat. What is it?
Oh, I know this one.
No, go ahead.
Ithaca 37.
Jeff?
I was going to say Remington 870 because I wasn't sure.
The correct answer is Ithaca 37. Well done, Adam. Damn. All right. This one's going to be hard. Okay? This one's really for Jeff because Jeff will fucking know shit that I'm like, how did you know that? So I went looking for like the hardest question I could possibly find. In The Patriot, most of the Continental Army soldiers are carrying the same musket that Heath Ledger is using. What is it?
Well, it should be the Brown Bess because most Continental soldiers were carrying the Brown Bess, but it's probably going to say the Kentucky rifle because everyone associates the Kentucky rifle with the American Patriot movement.
Adam, you got a guess? I mean, you're
maybe.
2 for 2.
What'd you say, Andy? I'll pick something else.
I said it's a Kentucky rifle.
Charlesville. 1776.
The Charlesville 1776 musket is correct. Wow.
I'm now slightly annoyed.
Okay. Fucking A. All right.
In my defense, I was just talking with some muzzleloaders with a buddy the other day. So.
Oh my god. Okay. So we'll bring it back to a more modern movie. In the original John Wick, the OG John Wick, one Walther pistol makes an appearance. What model is it? Jeff, you're losing. We'll go with you first. Well, you're going to lose.
Was it the P99?
Adam?
Was it Percival shooting it? Miss Percival? I think it was the P99. I think you're right.
It was, I'm actually looking at the imfdb.org page. Ms. Perkins. Yes.
Perkins, not Percival. Yeah.
Ms. Perkins shooting a suppressed Walther P99. That is correct.
Yeah, I got a point. Yeah.
Jesus, Adam. Wow.
He's just
Well
good at
done.
everything. This is bullshit.
He's really, really good. Wow. Man, if you shoot against him, well, you have shot against him, Jeff, and he slapped you in the face with his cock all over Area 3.
Because you weren't there.
I was shooting hello. That's right. That's right. I didn't get beat by Adam that time because I was in a different division.
Hey, now I know. Just duck divisions. Whatever one he signed up for, I'll switch it and just hope that he doesn't switch it day of like he did the one time.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Name That Gun. That was we've never had a guest get that many right, Adam. Well done, sir.
All right.
Well done. Are you you're a gun nerd then? Because I wouldn't have gotten
a little autistic. You know?
Jesus, I would have gotten the. I probably would have got the rock question right, because that would have been my guess was M60. If I hear machine gun 90s, I would have been like,
yeah,
because I didn't.
You gotta pick the M60,
yeah,
like
especially
Rambo,
in a movie.
You know, like all sorts of stuff from that era.
I would not have known that the Saw was actually around then, but like, was it around in Hollywood yet? A lot, probably not. That's where I would have gone, but yeah. So. Go ahead, Jeff.
Is there anything you want to say? Like any question we didn't ask you that you were like, oh man, I want to talk about this. Like Anything on your mind?
Was there a question you were afraid we were going to ask? Because you did ask me that over message, or like, is there anything I should prepare for? And
yeah, I just wasn't sure what you wanted to talk about. You know,
well, we were going to talk about you and shooting, and like you were going to. Whenever somebody,
we should have brought him on and not talked about nationals at all.
Actually, would have been great. That would have been great.
Completely avoid the topic.
Can you recite pi to the 7th or 8th digit?
Yeah.
We're gonna re-record this and just be like, so we met this dude at the bar and we just had him on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Actually, we should do that sometime.
You actually should do that.
Yeah,
That would be great.
That would be fantastic. No, when I did radio, there would be people who would come in to do like interviews for nonprofits or something, and they'd be so nervous, like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. And they'd have a script in front of them. I'm like, you do work there, right? Yeah. So if I ask you where the event is happening, you know where it is? Yeah. I was like, just put the script away. You're going to be fine. Okay? You're the expert here. I'm asking questions because I don't know. And as soon as I say that, then they'd be like, oh, okay. Like they think they need to give a speech or something. And it's like, no, I'm going to ask you a question that you know the answer to, and then you give it. That's it. Like this is going to be the equivalent of what's 2 + 2. So... have you ever done an interview before, Adam?
Like a podcast interview? No.
Or any interview? I mean, not a job interview, but like to be interviewed for sort of a media thing.
No.
All right. Well, I'm glad I was your first. I popped your cherry. All right.
That's
giggity.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well,
you guys were very gentle.
We try
to be gentle.
Well, we get lubed up while we do the show, so it helps to use the lube, but it absolutely does. Adam, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing the show, and we'd love to have you on again sometime after you beat the shit out of everybody
when you win Worlds. We'll be here
4 years from now.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Please let us be your first interview after you win a World Shoot. Adam, please.
All right.
Works for me. Thank you so much. He is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.